Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Moyna Bass Fishes. I am Jim Moyna. In this video, we're going to talk about the 5th day of practice here at the St. Croix River. This would be for the 2024 Champions Tour event here, which will be on Tuesday. So tonight is Sunday night, so in 2 days. All right, so the issue here, there's a real issue here of just accessibility to this river. I don't understand what's going on here, but every public landing you go to is like you got to pay. Whereas everywhere I go in Minnesota, every other place I go in Minnesota, you don't have to pay anything. So why is it here you got to pay? Yesterday I put in at a private marina because all the public landings were full, but those were paid. You had to pay for that anyways. So it was $20, the highest I've ever paid in my life to launch a boat. Well, so today I've found another landing on the map. Yeah, it's right on the map, right on Google Map. It said Bayport Public Launch or Public Ramp, one of the two. So I'm like, oh, all right, well, I'll go up there. So I get there, and what a fiasco that place is. Because the ramp's fine. It's a great ramp for a bass boat. Okay. It's got one lane, whatever. But the problem is the parking, and you got to pay. And I had to pay $20 again, $20 to launch at this place. And not only that, with the parking, I literally had to park over half a mile away. That's because they have a sign there. It says, "Park in designated areas, otherwise you're going to get towed." Well, the designated areas were over half a mile away. Meanwhile, there was a giant parking lot empty right next to the place that is, I guess it must be owned by a company called Anderson Windows. So, but there was some boat parking there if you were an employee of Anderson Windows or if you bought an annual permit. Otherwise, you had to go. It was literally over half a mile away. It seemed like. I mean, I ran from where I parked back to the boat ramp, and it took over 5 minutes to do that. So, and it was $20. So I haven't launched anywhere for free yet, and I've launched at 3 different ramps, visited a couple other ramps. I don't know. I'm a little teed off about the accessibility out here, and it's almost like they don't want anybody out here. I mean, they're making it as difficult as possible to actually use the river, which is a drag. I mean, whatever. It's almost like they don't want people out here, which is sad. The people that there's tons of giant boats out here. They got all their marinas everywhere, and they got harbors, boat harbors. They got all that. But it almost seems like this river caters to that crowd, and the fishermen just have to figure it out. They just got to come up with their launch fees and figure it out. So anyhow, I don't know where I'm going to launch tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of practice. I guess I have to figure out where I'm going to fish and then just pick a landing. I'm not going to a $20 boat ramp. Hell no. I mean, there was one that I've used the first few days out here that was an $8 boat ramp. So I guess I might have to go back to that one. And they don't, I mean, like in Bayport, they got all these streets. Why can't you just park on the street? It says right on the sign, if you got a boat trailer and you park in the street, you're getting towed. It's like, really? I mean, you got this huge parking lot that's empty, but I guess that's owned by Anderson Windows, whatever. But then there's all these streets right there. Why can't I park on the street? It's like, anyways, enough of that. enough whining. Okay, let's talk about some fun stuff, like the fishing. Uh, Man, I'm telling you, this place is awesome for white bass. I mean, some of the biggest average size white bass I've run into is on this river. They are, I mean, there's white bass all over the place in all these reservoirs down south and everything. And the average size of these white bass here are really good, which which brings me back to the point I was talking about in yesterday's video regarding the smallmouth and how skinny they were, and there's just not many big ones. And I was starting to think, well, it must be because they don't have an intermediate sized forage base. But the white bass are looking great. The largemouths, the few that I've caught, they look great. The walleyes look normal. The pike have looked normal. So now I started to think, well, maybe it's a genetic thing. Maybe that just this strain of smallmouth in this river here are, but that doesn't make sense either, because the St. Croix just feeds directly into the Mississippi in Pool 3, and we all know how you know how good of a size a fish can grow in pools. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got big smallmouths in those pools. I mean, not like Great Lakes size smallmouth, but I mean, there's 20 people have caught 20-pound bags of smallmouths out of them pools. And not only that, you can go upriver, up the Mississippi, and catch big smallies. So why they're kind of runty here in the St. Croix, I really don't know, because other species, they look normal. I just don't know, but they are runty. And literally, I snagged one of the shad that these fish are eating, the white bass, and the smallmouth. I mean, it's literally like, it's like almost the size of like your thumbnail. I mean, like an inch long. It was really tiny. So, and I did figure out, and I did hit on like a really good white bass bait, because the other day I was catching some, but not for as many that were there. I wasn't catching that as many as you would think. So now this morning I threw in my boat like a little super tiny swim bait like that, and boy, them white bass were all over that thing. Now I did catch a few smallmouths on that, but it wasn't it didn't really unlock the lake or unlock the river by any means. So all right, and okay, I did catch some smallmouths today. They were upriver from Hudson, which is what I needed to do. So I caught some up there. It was something I had to do that. You can't, I mean, I don't know how they're going to split this thing, because like I mentioned in the other practice videos, they divide the fishery in half. I'm assuming they're going to go half the day we're going to fish upstream from Hudson. The other half of the day we're going to fish downstream from Hudson. So I've got downstream fish, I got upstream fish. So I'm feeling good about that. I got one day tomorrow to practice. Probably get out. Oh, it might rain tomorrow a lot, or enough. So anyways, I got to figure out where I'm going to fish tomorrow. So anyhow, I don't know why I'm bugging you guys with that, but I don't know where I'm going to fish. Upstream, down. I might go downstream. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Or maybe I should go largemouth. Try to find some largemouth somewhere. That would be another thing to do. But I don't know. I haven't really caught many. But And I don't even know where I should. I just don't think there's a whole lot of them out here. So why even waste my time? Because I can't. I mean, I checked a few largemouth areas already, and you kind of got to work for them. So that's not what you want to do when you're in a every fish counts format of a tournament. That's what the Champions Tour is. Catch, weigh it right there in the boat, record it, and then release it right where you just caught it. So, all right, what other news from today? I mentioned I caught my first sauger out here, so that's good. I mean, I've caught a crappie today, so and a catfish. Caught a catfish and a drum. So I'm getting a good, and there was a channel catfish. So I have not caught a flathead catfish out here yet. So let's think about what species I have. Oh, I caught a yellow perch too. So the species I have not caught would be, I haven't caught a mudfish, or we call them dogfish in Minnesota. I haven't caught an eel pout, and I won't catch one because they're a cold water fish and they don't bite much in the summer. But I know they're out here because I remember I seined one up a long time ago. I've caught a black crappie, but I haven't caught a white crappie. I did catch a bluegill the other day. Of course, I've caught white bass. There's no stripers. I've caught the channel, not the flathead. I've caught largemouth. I've caught smallmouth. There's no spotted bass here. I've caught walleye. I've caught the one sauger now today. And haven't caught any moon eyes. That's a thing out here. Or carp of any kind, or big mouth. I don't know. There's all kinds of freaking big lip fish out here. There's lake sturgeon out here. I haven't caught that. Probably won't. Muskie. There's muskie out here. I haven't seen one. So I did. Oh my gosh. I saw a huge, enormous fish on the Lawrence Active Target today. I mean, this thing threw up a freaking an echo. I'm thinking it was a big catfish. And the reason why I thought it was a catfish and not a muskie or sturgeon is because it was so girthy. It was incredibly girthy. It was long, but just incredibly girthy. Because I've seen what muskies look like on my Lawrence Active Target, and what I saw today was just way girthier than what I'm used to seeing. When I see a muskie. So I'm thinking a catfish, and same thing with a sturgeon. I think would be a similar return as a muskie. It's just a long, long and lean kind of a fish. So it had to be catfish. But man, it was. I had never seen a fish. I don't know if I've ever seen a signal that big. So, all right, that's it for tonight. We're gonna shut this down and get some shut-eye. Over.